Hey guys, what's today? Thursday, thirsty for knowledge. Today, I want to talk about all this nonsense, not nonsense, that there's more sellers than there are buyers. Surprise, surprise. And it's not really a buyer's market, like prices haven't dropped yet. Um, I saw, well, first off, I love that. I love when there's more sellers than there's buyers. That means that it is a buyer's market, even though the prices haven't come down as much. I can tell you that people will make deals. People are making deals, and this is like, you know, first off, it's always a time to buy in every market. You just adjust your strategy. So strategy now is you can get basically whatever you want. You can get people to hold financing, people to lower their price, all kinds of crazy stuff. There's more foreclosures. So it's a really fun time for me. And I was trying to make some sense of like, well, okay, why is there more sellers than buyers, right? Well, interest rates are high, so I can see why buyers have pulled back. But who are the people selling? Because most of the people selling have low interest rates too, and they were holding up. Um, they were holding up, and there's no sense in selling a 3.5% mortgage. There really isn't, unless like you have some economic uncertainty, which I guess you could say some people think there's uncertainty here right now, but every economic factor, we have low inflation, GDP is good, unemployment is good. So, you know, Trump's got 11 trillion in investment coming, so I don't see that's what it is. What I think it uh, and you've probably seen it wherever you live in the United States, is that if you've been around in 2021, 22, well, we all have been around 2021, 2022, you're driving around different cities, you see all this construction. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm driving, I'm like, my God, they're building so many units. Like, who is going to move into these units? I believe my logic here, and look, this is just my opinion, is that because there was so much funny money that came from the COVID, that a lot of these funds and whatever, and people, they decided they're going to build multifamily housing and they were going to build a lot of units in a lot of markets because rents were going up ridiculous. I mean, rents were going up 20%. I mean, I've been a landlord for almost 30 years, and it was like, 3% raise, 3% raise, COVID happened, 20%, 20%, 20%. So rents were going up like crazy. The price of property was going up like crazy. So people jumped in and they started new construction. And new construction doesn't happen like that. So there was more buyers than there were sellers, and it made sense to put that to build. But if it's going to take you 2 years to put stuff on the market, which a lot of these bigger buildings do, new buildings and new developments, what happens is, guess what? It's not 2022 anymore. And now they all flood the market. And I believe that's who most of the sellers are. And they're going to put downward pressure on Mr. Homeowner that has a 3.5% mortgage and decides he wants to sell for whatever reason. He can't get his best price because there's a bunch of people that have built developments that are new construction people that are just going to, they can't sit on these properties. They're going to sell them for less money. This is not like their life savings. They got to make moves before banks call loans or interest rates go up or they have to pay points. So I believe that is probably what has flooded the market. And just to give you a personal example, I have a few higher end houses in Philadelphia, and one was in a house that next to a house that I used to live. So it's a nice, a very nice area. Um, and we had a tenant move out probably 15 months ago. I could not rent this very nice house for what I rented it for before, which was 3,000. I couldn't rent it for 13 months. And I ended up getting $2,500 because 13 months later, because people can go to all these new construction buildings with amenities and this, and do you want to live in a nicer, not new construction, older house that's on a great street, or do you want to live in a new building with new amenities and blah 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 blah? So that's competition you're dealing with. But those people are dropping their pants for rent, and those people are dropping their pants for selling. And I believe that this is a lot of the market of sellers. I don't think this is like Mr. Joe Home buyer, home seller that's selling. But that being said, there is opportunity. The opportunity is coming. It's going to put downward pressure on prices, which is good. If you're always a buyer, I'm always a buyer, and almost never. Well, there's always the time to sell, but it's not now. And so hope that guys gives you guys a little bit of insight into what I'm thinking about the market, and I hope you guys have the best day of your life. Thanks, guys.